how do you become a real life Saiyan? How do you become a real life Saiyan? I'm actually going to be very pragmatic here, very practical, okay? And I'm going to give you metrics, actual metrics that you should be meeting. And if you do meet them, you know you're a Saiyan. Now, notice here, I didn't say how to be a Super Saiyan. Okay, Super Saiyan is a different matter. Super Saiyan has different metrics and different measures, believe me. And I will talk more about it in future videos. But let's stick to it. How do you be a Saiyan? Just a base form Goku with black hair from, you know, Dragon Ball Z. Not even Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z. You know, Vegeta base form. Okay, how do you become a real life Saiyan? Just base form. I mean, they're pretty deadly in their base form. And let's be honest here, as modern humans, we're sort of mere weaklings, mere mortals. We have completely forgotten our potential and our powers. Okay, our dormant powers as human beings. Human beings are very, very powerful creatures. Very, very powerful creatures. So here we are, these mere mortals, these mere human beings, looking to become Saiyans, to ascend into a Saiyan form. Well, it is absolutely 100% possible, okay? It really is. It really is. And I'm currently working on transforming myself from a mere human being into a Saiyan. Super Saiyan will be the next target, the next goal. So, to put it to you very simply, the key to becoming a Saiyan is to master your breath. If you are able to master your breath and get it down to certain metrics that I'm going to share with you right now, you are effectively a Saiyan. Okay? So, the first metric is to be able to hold your breath after an exhale. So, and you stop breathing, you retain from breathing. If you are able to hold it for 60 seconds, now, let's be clear here. To be able to hold it to 60 seconds without feeling like you're gonna die. Okay, so, but you know, you should be able, after you feel like you need to breathe, you're breathing, but you go back to normal breathing easy. If you've held your breath to the point where like you're dying and as soon as you release your breath, you're like, that's not 60 seconds. That's just you trying, your ego's trying to, you know, make it like, oh, I did 60 seconds, so I'm a Saiyan. No, that comes with its other attributes. Okay, they're related. So the 60-second mark, a true genuine 60 seconds, where you get to the 60-second, you need to take a breath now. You need to take a breath, so you need to take an inhale now. But you do it naturally. You go back, jump into a normal breathing pattern after. So let's say you just exhaled, you held your breath for 60 seconds. You feel like you need to take a breath, so you take it again, you're back to normal breathing patterns. Then you actually have a 60-second hold. Now, the vast majority of modern humans do not have that number. I don't have it right now. I don't have it. Okay, and I'm a pretty athletic guy too. I don't have it. Right now I don't have it. I'm working towards it. Most people, they don't have it. Yeah, most people have a 20 second and below. Okay, so don't be too alarmed if you're meeting these numbers. So what that indicates is the following. And this is how you know that this is a true genuine 60-second hold time. Your normal resting breathing should be between 6 and 8 breaths per minute. Okay? Meaning, you're normal. So if I sit down here, okay? If I sit down here and I'm breathing, my breathing should be between 6 and 8. That means like my heart rate is at a very optimal level. And that probably means I can meet the 60-second mark breath hold or close to it. And this has to be consistent, meaning you might be like, when I meditate, I get to those levels. Okay, like today I meditated for about an hour, and then I went for a jog, meditated for another 30 minutes, and then very easy, I was sitting there just breathing 6 to 8 breaths per minute. My whole time went up to like 45 seconds. Okay, really, like you could get there just now if you sit down and actually meditate, focus on slowing down your breath. However, these metrics have to become part of you. They have to be ingrained. So I might have achieved the Saiyan form today after my meditations and my jog, but I'm pretty sure if I turn off this video and sit here, I'm gonna be breathing a little bit more now, because I'm still retraining my breath. I might be at 10 to 12 breaths per minute now. Okay, I'd have to count after this video and see, but that's not my base form. Saiyan is not my base form yet. I'm able to achieve it. Again, I achieved it today. I didn't even achieve 60 seconds. It was 45 seconds after taking a cold shower, after jogging, after meditating for an hour and a half. Okay, I was able to get to just normally after breathe for 6 to breaths, normal breaths, 6 to 8 breaths per minute. And when I first started tracking, I was at like 18 breaths per minute. And then we did it to my brother. He was about 19. Most people, they're breathing way too much. Their resting heart rate is way too much. They're taking way too many breaths, and that's why you need a lot of sleep. So let's keep going into it. So a 60-second breath holding time. Normal breathing, becomes your base form. When the Saiyan becomes your base form, 6 to 8. So currently I'm going through a major breath retraining. I'm making sure that I'm always tracking my breathing when I'm in the shower, when I'm walking, everything. Let's try and keep, and I'm constantly timing. Okay, not constantly, me in the stopwatch. You try and keep it between 6 and 8. And if you're going too much, very simple. The way you bring your breath back is you breathe through your nose, and then a long exhales through your mouth, and that'll bring you back. But when I say normal breath, it's just through your nose. So 6 to 8 breaths per minute through your nose. Okay, so that's one breath. Okay, I didn't do it fully here, but you get what I'm saying. That's a normal breath. So no mouth breathing. So basically 6 to 8 breaths per minute becomes you. That just becomes you. When you're walking, when you're sitting watching TV, when you're taking a shower, whatever, that becomes you. And you're gonna find, if you actually sit there and see, just observe, you're probably breathing like above 12 breaths per minute. If there's 100 people watching this, probably 97 out of 100 will have above 12 breaths per minute. I did just a few days ago. Okay, my brother, same thing. It's especially if you live in a city. Okay, I realized that too, that just constant stimulation. Okay, or if you have a stressful job or you're always on the go. Oh yeah, you're breathing way too much. So metric number 1, 60-second hold time. Metric 2, and they all go hand in hand, you see. So if you have a quote-unquote 60-second hold time, but you're still breathing more than 12, you're cheating. You're cheating on the breath holding test. Okay, so you've got to take all these. They sort of happen as consequently together. So what happens then when your breathing slows down naturally and it becomes your base form? Now you're getting into Saiyan territories, and a few things will start to happen to you. You will need between 4 to 6 hours of sleep. That's a good indication. That's a good indication that your base form now is a Saiyan. You will genuinely need, okay? Genuinely, meaning you will wake up feeling a tingling, okay? A tingling in your body, a sensations of joy. Wow, what a beautiful day. I'm so excited to be up. That's what I mean when I say you'll need 4 to 6 hours. Not dragging yourself out of bed. No, that means you work on slowing down your breath. It takes time to retrain something that has been messed with, dysfunctional for a while. Okay? But as a consequence, you will start to need less sleep, and you will need between 4 to 6 hours of sleep. See what I'm saying? Now we're getting into Saiyan territories here. And I'll tell you something, I've been doing this now for close to 5 days, and I'm starting to need less sleep. Starting. Okay, I last couple of nights woke up on my own, no alarm. I needed about 7 hours. Usually I need more. Okay, I'm still training. I'm still retraining. It probably takes 3 weeks to be fully accustomed to this new way of breathing. Probably, just like any other habit. So you will start to need between 4 to 6 hours of sleep as a result of having a slow heart rate, resting heart rate, and just rest. If you're always restful, you're walking, you're restful, that's why you track down your breath at all times. Make sure you always slow it down. You will realize how fast you are going in life in general. Okay? So, need to slow down a little bit here. I'm going too fast here. Getting too excited. So, we've gone over the first 3 metrics now. The breath hold, 60 seconds. We've gone over the breaths per minute at 6 to 8 breaths per minute, maintained without even having to consciously think about it. So it takes training. And then as a consequence, you will need between 4 to 6 hours of sleep, no more. The reason why we sleep more than that is because we're breathing way too much during the day. Now, some of you guys might be asking, where am I getting all this information from? Look up the Boyotko. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a Russian name. Boyotko breathing method. Okay, it is wow, it'll blow your mind. And I really want to make a separate video for it altogether. Boyotko breathing technique. Buyotko. Okay, I'm getting all these metrics, all these things from there. And so you'll need 4 to 6. The reason why we sleep more is because we're breathing so much throughout the day. That's the reason. Plain and simple, pure and simple. So eventually, now the high masters, the yogis we're talking about, they're able to breathe, to take their breathing down to 3 breaths a minute as a natural thing. Now you could do this in meditation very easily. Sit down and hum for 15 minutes, or just do the slow breathing through your nose, out through your mouth. You'll get down to 3 breaths per minute. But these guys who are really, really advanced, their 3 breaths per minute are like a permanent thing all the time. Okay? These guys only need 2 hours of sleep. That's it, no more. So, yeah. Metric number 4. As a result of all of this increased energy, this increased alertness, this increased sense of well-being and joy and energy, you're gonna feel like you want to exercise. It just comes naturally to you. You feel the force is strong with this one. You look at yourself in the mirror and say, today the force is strong with this one. Then you will naturally be less hungry and you will be inclined to eat less. Okay, that's metric number 4, is that you will be able to function high. You'll be able to do your exercises. You'll be able to absolutely kill it with your exercises. You'll be able to maintain high levels of energy with little food. And I'm not gonna give you numbers here as to how many calories or this and that, but if you're well advised to incorporate intermittent fasting into your life and even try and eat once a day. Oh, it'll make a huge difference. Okay? So you'll be eating less. You'll be only needing to eat once or twice a day, no more. And in fact, as your energy keeps increasing from having a slow heart rate and being in a state of rest all the time, you will not want to eat. It's like, why would I eat now? It's going to slow me down. You feel like you know it. It's going to slow you down. So that's metric number 4. Less food needed. You just naturally feel less need. You're not as inclined to eat. You're inclined to eat less. It's not like you're trying to restrict yourself or anything. Just you're inclined to eat less. Okay? And finally, the metric number 5 for knowing that you're a Saiyan. What was it? I had it written on my wall now. Food, sleep, breath holding time. I gotta remember this one. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Right. heart rate, pulse per minute, I think it's called, or what is it? I have a heart rate monitor on my phone, and usually the ranges go between 60 and 100. Okay, what was it? It's heart rate monitor, beats per minute. There it is, beats per minute. Okay, so the final metric is that your beats per minute should be between 55 and 60. Okay, so you sit down and you could download one of the apps or go get a heart rate monitor or something. Your heart rate, your pulse, it should be between 55 and 60. Your resting heart rate, okay? 55 to 60. If it's more than that, again, and this is again related to the breath holding time. So if you're again faking the results for the breath holding time, you say I have 60 seconds, but your heart rate is like 70 or even 65, that's not a true 60 seconds. So they're all related to one another. So 60, between 55 and 60, you're good to go also. That's an indication. See, I have that right now. I have 60. My pulse is 60. But my heart, my breath holding time is not catching up yet because I'm still in the retraining phase. So while I do have the 60 and even a little bit less, it goes maybe 58. I keep measuring, it goes between 58 and 60. But still, my breath holding time is not 60 seconds yet, and still my breaths per minute are not 8 to 10 permanently yet because I'm in the retraining process. You see, as you start to retrain more and more and more, all these things will match one another. Okay? And if you are finally able to rest in that place all the time, all these numbers, you're now officially a Saiyan. Okay? And now we can begin on working on improving the Saiyan and going into Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan Ascended, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan Red, Super Saiyan Blue. And believe me, I've got metrics for every single one of them. But one Saiyan form at a time here. Okay, I'm just gonna share with you whichever level I'm at. So I'm trying to right now get to from human to Saiyan. Okay, think of me like Krillin right now, but I'm too tired of that. I want to become a Saiyan. And these are the numbers, straight up. Straight up. Because at that point, you'll be tingling with energy and alertness and focus. You know, the Indians, the yoga system is unbelievably intelligent. My God. Okay, they figured all this shit out. And so that's why master yogis, they need 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. Sadhguru, you know, he says he needs 3-4 hours of sleep. You know, the master yogis, they barely need any sleep, but they figured all this shit out. They figured that it's all about your breath. He who masters the breath masters life. This is an old yogic adage. And if you're able to master your breath and keep it at a slow, restful rate all the time, yeah, you're basically, now we're talking about being Super Saiyan. So as you go above and beyond and your metrics become, you know, like crazy, like very, very high, you know, probably takes much meditation and much, you know, constant, basically this becomes your life. Essentially, this becomes your sport, slowing your breath down, which is kind of becoming my sport now. Then at certain levels, those very high levels where you're breathing, you know, 3-4 breaths a minute, you're able to eat nails and digest them. You unlock these unbelievable abilities of the human body. And that's how these yogis are able to do all these crazy things that you hear of. Okay, these are facts. This is truths. You know, these yogis are able to do all these things, and you know, that's years of meditation and slowing down their breath. So if you have watched this video up until now and you're really interested in becoming a Saiyan, hopefully this video convinced you. Start working on your breathing. Start slowing down your breathing. Become conscious of it at all times, because this is a 24/7 commitment to your breath. Okay, you've got to be with your breath all the time. And this is, you know, I gotta say, on my part, this is my third video in a row. I can see my heart rate going up a little bit. So what I'm gonna need to do after this, because I've been talking for an hour here, see, words and talking and thoughts as I am learning, they bring up your heart rate. So don't do too much of them. That's what I'm learning. Not too much talking and not too much thinking. Do it when you need to. Like right now, I'm in the mood to make videos. I can tell this is going to be my final video because I will need to sit down and probably meditate now and bring it down again. Okay, as I'm learning from this process of retraining, really, the realm of thoughts and ideas and thinking, it raises your heart rate up. And so if you're constantly talking and saying things and in an environment that's always stimulating, your heart rate is really up. Takes a lot of energy out of you, and so you need a lot of sleep, you feel tired, you feel exhausted. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like I know if I'm talking too much in these videos, like I'm just like, okay, I don't want to talk anymore. Like now, I'm gonna finish this video now, okay? So more and more on this, I'm very much dedicated to this now. This process of retraining my breath. And again, look up the Boitko. I'm completely mispronouncing it here. I'm better off leaving a link for it. So I'll leave a link for it, okay? If I don't, like I always say, I'm gonna leave a link and I don't, just remind me. Just remind me, please, okay? Let's become Saiyans, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, for the ladies too, there are lady Saiyans in Dragon Ball Super. Okay, so there we go. That's about it. Until next time, may the Force be with you.